Imagine a world where two superpowers, the US and USSR, stand on opposite ends of the ideological spectrum. Capitalism versus communism, each viewing the other's system as a threat to global stability. Reasons for friction between Cold War actors: ideological conflict, capitalism versus communism. The United States and the Soviet Union represented opposing political and economic systems. The US promoted liberal democracy and free market capitalism, while the USSR advocated for a one-party communist state and a centrally planned economy. These worldviews were fundamentally incompatible, and both sides saw the other's system as a threat to global stability. Broken promises and mistrust post-World II. During the Yalta Conference, Stalin promised free elections in Eastern Europe. However, after the war, the USSR installed communist governments in Poland, Hungary, and elsewhere. The West viewed this as a betrayal and evidence of Soviet expansionism. These actions eroded trust and confirmed suspicions about Soviet intentions. Different post-war goals. The U.S. aimed to rebuild Europe and promote global trade through initiatives like the Marshall Plan. The Soviet Union, having suffered immense wartime losses, sought to create a buffer zone of friendly states to prevent future invasions. This clash of priorities, economic recovery versus security control, deepened hostilities. Nuclear weapons and the arms race. The U.S. developed and used atomic bombs in 1945, giving it a major advantage. The Soviets saw this as a threat and quickly accelerated their own nuclear program, successfully testing a bomb in 1949. The resulting arms race heightened mutual suspicion and raised the stakes of every political conflict. Power vacuum in Europe and global influence. With Germany defeated and former colonial powers weakened, both the US and USSR sought to fill the global power vacuum. This led to competition for influence in Europe, Asia, and later Africa and Latin America. Each superpower sought to spread its model of governance and resist the other's expansion. Events that exposed the divide. The Berlin blockade and airlift, 1948-49, showed the Soviets' willingness to use pressure to assert control, while the Western response signaled their commitment to resisting Soviet aggression. These and similar events further entrenched the East-West divide. In conclusion, the Cold War was born out of deep-rooted ideological, political, and historical tensions. Mistrust, competing interests, and divergent visions for the post-war world made cooperation between global actors increasingly difficult. Understanding this context helps explain why early Cold War relations were marked by hostility and suspicion. Thank you for joining us.